Welcome, everyone, to Around the ACL. Michelle Thompson here with Trey Ryder and Anthony Ione, welcoming you to another week of Around the ACL. This is a special week because it's Thanksgiving week. So lots of fun things happening, hopefully some good food in everybody's future. And if you have kids, then you get your kids for the whole week. No school. Super fun.
No, they just go to grandma's house for the weekend. What are you talking about?
Okay, that doesn't really work here.
The whole week? You guys get your kids get the whole week? When I was growing up, I never got the whole week.
And I just want to preface this by the fact that by 9 a.m., he'd already asked me for a popsicle and candy. So that's how my morning's going.
Like, Did he get popsicles and candy?
No, that's crazy. What are you talking about? It's 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, they're not getting the whole week over here. They're just Wednesday on. So
really?
A little something different.
Yeah,
Valley, I guess. Yeah.
I was the same way. I never got the full week off.
Lucky me. No, but seriously, we have fun. We have some Lego projects to do every year. I have like Christmas Legos that we take apart and put together to like display as our decorations. So we have those to put together this week. So we have some stuff to do. But let's talk about our Thanksgiving plans. Trey, what do you got going on?
This is going to be a shock to everybody on this call, but we're going to Orlando.
Oh, yeah.
Shocker.
Disney. So it's the first time. Shelby has always wanted to go to Disney for Thanksgiving. And so because around that time, it's very holiday and very, it's a different vibe or whatever. So this is the first year that we are not doing Thanksgiving with with family or anything like that. We're just going to kind of do our own thing, just go off and do that. And it'll be cool. Spend some time to ourselves on Thanksgiving, and then spend all day Friday watching college football, because that's what I do on Saturdays. So no, it'll be great. I'm kind of excited. It's a different vibe than any other. I'm used to you got to prep all day, because I love to cook. So normally I enjoy contributing to cooking. So it's usually a early morning. You got to get up and start making food, because we eat early. I don't know. That's also a debate I've had with people. When do you guys eat Thanksgiving? I've always ate Thanksgiving dinner at 1 or 2 o'clock.
Oh, we're 3, 4 o'clock.
Yeah, that's us. 3, 4.
Okay, yeah, we're early. I saw
that's called lunch, Trey.
Yeah, it's Thanksgiving dinner at lunch. You got to do it in the middle of the first NFL game that's on TV. That's just the rule. That's what you got to do. So
okay, I feel that.
So are you still gonna get Thanksgiving food at Disney or no?
Yeah.
Okay.
We got a reservation at a place in Epcot that they'll have a Thanksgiving special. Here's the thing though, Shelby hates Thanksgiving food.
Okay.
Doesn't not a big fan of turkey, mashed potatoes she likes, but it's whatever. And even the ham and the vegetables and all that, she's whatever. So this is going to be perfect for her, because I'm going to get because I love Thanksgiving food. So I'm going to get a Thanksgiving plate, and she's going to get steak and, whatever she wants to get. Yeah. So
I'm with Shelby. I do not like Thanksgiving food either. I tolerate it. So I fully understand.
I get made fun of because I love cranberry sauce. I'm the only person apparently in the world that actually likes cranberry sauce.
Pass, hard pass.
Anthony, are you having 60 people at your house?
Yeah, close. Me and my dog, Uncle Bob. We're going to get together, of course. We're going to head to Uncle Bob's sister's house, my aunt. So we'll probably be 50, 60 deep in there. And then everyone comes to my house for Christmas. So this is their house, and then everyone comes to my house. But yeah, all Thanksgiving foods. Excited about it. Gravy on everything. Let's go.
What are you going to do with that lab in the background with 60 people at Christmas? You have to get fancy there.
Yeah, I'll send you a picture. The lab actually becomes a dinner table. We have one long table, and it fits 60 people down here in the lab. So it's perfect. It's perfect for a large gathering.
Crazy. Well, we're just about 11 people, so a little different than yours. And it was only supposed to be 6, and then it was oh, this person's gonna come, and this person asked if this person can come. So it keeps growing. I'm in charge of the green beans. They don't like green bean casserole. They want me to make just green beans with lemon and garlic. It's very plain and easy, but that's what I bring every year. And we just go to my in-laws' house, and it's quick and simple. So that's our Thanksgiving, very low key.
Yep. Love
Yeah,
it.
I like it that way. I don't like to do all the things, so prefer it that way. Let's talk about what we're thankful for though. Trey, what are you thankful for?
I am thankful for this team. I am thankful for, and I said this actually in a video, we're going to release a video on Thanksgiving. I'm thankful for like the growth and like all these new people that are coming into the ACL that are starting to give us like new direction and new, things to keep in mind as we continue to grow. Like, I think that just continuously makes us better. And I think that's super important. So like new perspectives for me are like what I'm really thankful for. And then I'm always thankful for my wife because she literally just keeps my head on straight. So I always have to throw that in there. Always.
Yeah, I get it. Anthony, how about you?
I'm not really too into this mushy stuff, Meesh.
You can thank Trey for it.
Yeah.
That's so Anthony.
No, if I had to pick something right now, all my kids are killing it, man. My daughter she actually has all week off because it's college. But she's doing her thing, man. She's killing it in nursing school. My middle one is on top of everything. Straight A student, job, manages the volleyball team, doing the little boyfriend thing, but doing all four at the same time. But she's on point on everything. So she's managing all those things. And then little man still pulling solid grades and just grinding at the game. So I'm pretty thankful for all my kids right now. They're all killing it and staying out of trouble.
Yeah, I have to agree. Thankful for my family, friends. That's the obvious one. And then when we did that video, the other one I added in was yoga. Thank God for yoga. That keeps my head on straight. So that's something that is a regular practice for me, whether it's 5 minutes or an hour. But yeah, definitely thankful. I found it like 25 years ago and doing it ever since. So thank God for that. All right, let's get into our recap. We just had an amazing open that happened in Tennessee.
Yes.
And it was great. I got to watch Saturday and Sunday. I was actually out of town Thursday through Saturday, but was able to catch up on Saturday and Sunday. Such great matches, especially yesterday. Singles was incredible. Like every game, it was just absolutely amazing. So congrats to everybody that went and competed. Our singles winner was Mark Richards, back-to-back. Second place, Adam Hisner. Good to see him up there on the podium. In doubles, Noah Almanza and Logan Chamberlain. Welcome back, Noah Almanza. Good to see you there. And second, Mark Richards and Tony Smith. Are we going to start to see a pattern here? The second place pattern, not being able to get that finish. In women's, Cheyenne Bubenheim, shocking. Senior, David Dennis, shocking. Junior, Ryan Trader, shocking. So boring. However, I didn't get to see it, but I did hear that Riley Schaff was right on Cheyenne's tail. So congrats to her, a young thrower. I'll let you guys get into it. But Trey, why don't you start us off with your recap of this open?
Yeah, so a couple things come to mind. Well, first of all, I started last time. I don't know if you remember this. I just talked about Mark Richards, and I'm going to follow that up because it's literally the same thing. Okay. Mark Richards has now won back-to-back open singles titles, and he has gone 18-0 in these past two opens. Okay, we went through the list of the people he beat in the first open, right? I'm just going to add on to that. Let's talk about who he beat at this open. He beats Tanner Halbert 23-2. He beats Gavin Cano 21-7.
And Halbert was throwing gas.
He was.
He beat Ryan Trader 24-10. He beats Fisher Hamilton 25-2.
What?
He beats Jeremiah Ellis 24-15. We'll talk about Ellis in a second. Yeah. And he beats Adam Hisner 22-10. Over the past 18 games at the open level, Mark Richards gave up 15 points one time. He did that to Jeremiah Ellis. If you take away that Ellis game and just focus on the 17 other games that he has played, the most points anyone has scored on Mark Richards is 11. And that was Caleb Batson.
That only gets you halfway to a win. Yeah.
Anthony Ione's number one player in the world scored the most points against Mark Richards, and it was 11.
11.
Okay. Unbelievable. he just continues to just make smart decisions, put bags where they need to be. It's not flashy. I watched those last 2 games against Hissner and Ellis. I mean, I saw a couple roll bags, but for the most part, it was selective airmails. It was methodical approaches. He just wasn't missing the easy shots. Going over to Jeremiah Ellis played well enough to beat anybody in the world that day.
Yes.
Except one guy. And it was the one guy that he had to play in the semifinals. Jeremiah Ellis should have won that Open if Mark Richards doesn't book a plane ticket to Memphis, Tennessee. I mean, it's just simple enough. He was so good. There was a time when I was watching Ellis, and it was just the roll was on point. The pushes were on point. The slide shot, everything was going in for Jeremiah Ellis. And he was probably above average to really good on his airmails. Maybe not like elite, but he didn't need to be because he was rolling so well. He was cutting so well. He was doing everything so well. So it's like, I almost want to get a small trophy for Jeremiah Ellis and give him like a half a title because he deserved it of how good he was. But the problem was Mark Richards just would not be denied. And it, Ellis goes up 12, was it 12-2 or whatever it was? It's like, no big deal. I'll just grind it out and find a way to win this whole thing. I mean, I don't know if what I've seen over Mark Richards over these last 2 events, it's like, okay, those are the 2 events he went to. If I look at Worlds, he didn't play as well, but then go to the last national of the year. It's like the last 4 events, big events that like, and then he also won back-to-back Opens towards the end of last season. So you're talking about in a span of say July through November, he wins 2 Opens last year. He wins 2 Opens this year. He wins a national singles title. We're talking about 5 singles titles in a very short period of time against the world's best competition. I don't think we've ever seen something like this before. And I don't even know, honestly, how to put it in words. I mean, literally, if you can put it in your mind to forget that he doesn't do well at Worlds and he doesn't have to play Jamie Graham, like we may be talking about like a stretch of singles runs that will never be repeated again. So most of what I got to say is about Richards. I did find it funny and amusing that of all the people that Anthony had to call out on his hot take, he had to call out Almanza and Chamberlain, and they just had to say, you can shove that hot take, which I thought was kind of funny. Tony Smith and Mark Richards still coming in second place. But like, honestly, at this point, how can I insult Mark? This is like, it has to be Tony's fault, right? Like, even if it's not, it just has to be Tony's fault. Like there's no other reason to explain it given what Mark is doing right now. So overall, it was really good to see all them. I love seeing Jack Gore. He's playing really well. Really impressed by what I'm seeing out of Jack. So I want to see him continue to do that. Some of these big teams continue to look good. Power and Niestedt still look good. Damon Tennis and Mike Ferreira continue to put up some numbers, guys. They may sneak into that top 15, and you better not sleep on them because they're going to be really good. But Mark Richards has to steal all of my kudos this weekend because he was just too good.
This week and last week, he stole all your kudos. Anthony, how about you?
Yeah, speaking about the hot take, that's a good lead in. If we want to know who's going to win the tournament, just take my hot take, and that's the winner. That's going to be the winner of the opposite of the hot take. So the last couple of weeks, I basically said this doubles team who shouldn't win it is going to place higher than this doubles team, and then that team ends up winning. So that's how we know who's going to win this thing. So maybe there's some motivation coming out of
Magical.
that. Yeah, no doubt. Just talking, I'll start with doubles as well, or start with doubles since there was a lot of talk on singles. I mean, there's a lot to talk about. We're not going to be able to get through it all, but just a couple bullets, just a couple recognitions of some stuff happening, some storylines. Crabtree continues to impress me. He teams up with a guy named Riker Wells, a no-name. Strong run with a notable win against a Braden Wilson and an AJ Sims. Carter Bennett and Ben Brown make a bracket final. A strong run for them as well. An easier bracket run. I mean, let's be serious. It was a little bit easier of a bracket win, but a notable win against a Jacob Gore and a Hunter Thorne, a match they shouldn't win. Jacob Trzynski and Tanner Halbert with a legit run. And they play tough pros every single match to take the king seat, ultimately losing to Smith and Richards. Solid run for those boys. And then Troxel and Cummings win a bracket. I mean, let's go. Another easier bracket, but a notable win against Windsor and Creek Killer. But if we get down to the Final Four, you mentioned Jeremiah Ellis, Ryan Hart, those guys winning their bracket. Tony Smith and Mark Richards, obviously. I mentioned Troxel and Cummings, and then Noah Almanza and Logan Chamberlain. If I just can start with Ellis and Hart in bracket play, a strong run for them. And recall, if we go back to open number 1, they were in the losers final. They're going to up that here at open number 4 with some notable wins over a Caden Allen and a Kobe Costanza. Ellis smacked Costanza, and then Ryan Hart matched Caden Allen point for point. That is the winning strategy. We know that Ryan Hart's going to be the B player. If he can match the A player in a team, Ellis is going to smack the B player, and that's exactly what happened. They ultimately lose. Trey, Kimbrell, and Rozier. Kimbrell playing out of his ass right now, but then they come back and double dip that, coming from behind from a 16-8 deficit. They pull Richards and Smith in the Final Four first round. Ellis won his side of the board against Richards, and that's all you need to do. And this is where your partner, like a Hart, needs to come in. If Ellis says, I'm going to take the tough guy, I'm going to take Richards, and I can match him, you need to do your work on the other side. And look at this matchup between Richards and Ellis. They threw against each other 8 rounds. Mark Richards scored in 1 round. Half of the rounds wash. So it's Ellis who wins against Mark Richards in that doubles matchup. So he ultimately gets that one. And it was Ryan Hart sold. He sold hard. Gave up 20 points in that bracket loss. And we know Ryan Hart can finish. We saw him do it on his first ESPN broadcast ever against Harbaugh. Ends up winning that shootout series there. So we know he can do it, but he definitely sold in that playoff match. But we focus on the champs a little bit. Logan Chamberlain and Noah Almanza. Probably the toughest run through the entire doubles tournament. Played top pros in every single match. I mean, it wasn't easy. They go through a Kamba Zockline. They go through a Jacob Gore and a Hunter Thorne. Chamberlain was gas in that one. He smacks Gore in that one. He threw a 10.82 over 11 rounds, scored 16 of the points in that victory against Gore, which is unbelievable. Then they pull a JBJ and a Hamilton. They're up 16-5, give the lead back. They find themselves down 16-9 and win it from the behind position. That game was actually amazing. All 4 baggers in that were one with a 10+ in the match. The game couldn't have been any closer. JBJ and Almanza, dead match. They matched each other on the score. It was the side where we had Hamilton and Chamberlain. Chamberlain put 1 more bag in the hole against Hamilton to get the extra 2 points to win that one 21-19. But both players, Chamberlain and Almanza, killed it the entire tournament. There were only 2 doubles teams in the entire tournament where both players threw a 10+. Chamberlain, Almanza, one of them. Any guesses, you guys? What was the other doubles team where both players threw a 10+? And it's going to be a bit of surprise for you. Maybe not a surprise for Trey. That's a hint.
So Blaine.
Oh, I know. Blaine Rozier and Jordan Kimbrell.
Nailed it. Both players threw a 10+. So, those guys just killed it. And then you get to the Final Four. Chamberlain, Almanza, they upped their game when it mattered. Chamberlain led the entire field in the playoffs, that bracket playoffs, with a 10-7-7. But it was Noah Almanza's DPR that stood out. In those 2 games, my dude threw a 2.23 DPR over 2 games.
Whoa.
Yeah, unbelievable. In the championship, it's Richards and Smith, and the way it lined up, it was Almanza lines up next to Richards. Meesh, how many points did Noah Almanza put on Mark Richards in the final? Take a guess.
I don't know, 10?
19. Stop playing.
Whoa.
That's more than he'd been scored against in any singles game in the last 18 games.
Yeah, that was the one.
Unbelievable. But yeah, I'll just finish off with singles a little bit. Just a quick recap. To me, there's some good storylines there. Some under the radar players really showing out in singles. Pro rookie Ernest Cisneros, okay, bro, this guy threw lights out. Really impressed with what I saw from him in this tournament. Jonathan Etheridge, also another rookie who really showed out in the singles tournament. Almanza, is he back? Maybe we'll talk about that one a little bit, but he had an unbelievable season. Almanza, a number 7 player in the world, falls all the way to 100 and something last season. Is he back? We can talk about that one a little bit later. Jacob Gore, under the radar, or Jackson Gore under the radar only because he dropped to 100 and something. This kid's on a comeback trail, and Trey kind of told us a little bit about this a couple episodes ago when he saw the conference or that local event. This kid's nice. Check out some of his wins. Hunter Thorne, Damon Dennis, Blaine Rozier, Jordan Kimbrell, Logan Chamberlain, and his brother, Jacob Gore. That's a hell of a run for Jackson Gore. This dude is back. Ethan Walker, another under-the-radar player. I've been talking about him time after time, week after week. A potential breakout player. I compared him to Tony Smith. He takes the king seat, or has a chance to take the king seat. He's up 19-11 and loses it to Windsor. Had a chance to take the king seat. He continues to show out. And then, of course, you talked about Jeremiah Ellis. Not on my top 10. Trey, I don't think he was on your top 10, but the guy is playing like a top 10 player, if not top 5. Wins his doubles bracket, wins his singles bracket. He wins his bracket with the highest PPR in the entire tournament. In the bracket playoff match against Richards, he was fire. If you haven't seen that match, go back and watch the Jeremiah Ellis versus March Richards match. That was a banger. 34 rounds. Both players were throwing an 11 plus through 20-something rounds. And we're not talking about on a hope and hole, guys. Pushes, air mails, cuts, rolls when they need them. They're making all the shots and still scoring at a rate of 11 plus. But Richards gets the close dub. So, yeah, in the last one there, Ryan Windsor, open number 1, wins his bracket, guys. Open number 2, wins his bracket. Open number 3, he didn't play in it. And then here he is at open number 4, winning his bracket again. So, Ryan Windsor, arguably the most consistent player in the game right now, next to Mark Richards.
Yeah, absolutely. Good to see him back up there as well. Moving on to news around the league, Blake Karnick is actually withdrawing from the Pro League, and Austin Renard is promoted as a pro. The Northwest Conference in singles, Candler Bag takes the win. In doubles, Hayden Gonzalez and Candler Bag. The Atlantic Conference, Devin Harbaugh is the singles winner, and Ryan Smith and Landon Bass take doubles. And the Mid-North Conference, singles went to Adam Reike. Doubles, Lonnie Williams and Ruben Martinez. Congratulations to all of our winners and to Austin Renard as becoming our new pro. Trey, anything to add there?
Yeah, on the Atlantic Conference, like it's almost unfair that Devin Harbaugh got to move the Atlantic. The Atlantic Conference is like, dude, just stay in Pennsylvania, bro. Like, just what are you doing? So, although I will say, I'll add this. I don't know if you saw it, Devin Harbaugh in the finals of the Atlantic Conference had to take on Cameron Belvin. I'm still really impressed how well Cameron consistently has been throwing. She's throwing at a really high level right now. And again, you know, I kind of talked about this, like, yes, I think this baby is going to take a lot out of Noah and Cameron, but I think it's going to root them more in a central location and have them be focused a little bit more. It may actually end up making them a little bit better players. And it wouldn't surprise me if they have a really good season. So I just wanted to add that little caveat in there.
All right. Moving on to buy or sell. I will read a line. You guys say if you're going to buy or sell. The first one, Mark Richards' season this year will beat his rookie year performance.
Yeah, so this one's tough because we're looking at a rookie season in which he, you know, how much he won. He, you know, swept a national. He won a singles world championship, made it to a doubles final, won an open or two. Like, it's crazy. Now, right now, I think the thing that's going to hurt Mark Richards is he can't replay or play a new world championship right now, right? He's got to wait 10 months to do that. I'm going to sell it. I think he can be that level of player again. The problem is, like, I have to bet against him winning a world championship, or I have to bet for him winning a world championship and sweeping a national. That's the only way you think you can you can say he lives up to that. That's just so hard to do. I'm going to sell it, but right now, the guy is playing as good as I've ever seen anybody play in the history of cornhole.
Anthony?
Yeah, logic would say we should sell this one, but it's not an easy sell. I'm going to actually go the other way, Trey. And I think the big difference makers, not only are we seeing what he's doing right now in singles, but he's got this guy on the other side of the board, Tony Smith, in doubles. And together, once they get clicking, I think, as a doubles team, Tony's working these new lucky bags, a faster model bag, switching to a bag running game. He said it himself on a podcast. Or on the air this weekend. Sorry. I'm going to be switching to a bag running game. Now, is that Tony Smith's specialty? No, but if he can find that 10-3 consistent PPR running bags and then have that dirty game in his back pocket when he needs it with bag chemistry with Mark Richards, I think together they will most likely win back-to-back doubles tournaments, maybe even do what Grindersleeve and Batson did last year. So I'm going to buy, although my logic says don't buy that. I'm going to buy that one.
Number 2, Noah Almanza is back. Buy or sell?
Yeah, so like I have to look at, if you want to say he's back, that means he's back to his rookie season form. And there's some similarities here. Open number 2, way back in his rookie year, he wins the singles event out of nowhere. Open number 4 here in doubles, wins an open event to kind of start the year. So like, I'm starting to see that if he was going to be what he was this past year, he can't win an open. He can't do it. He wasn't good enough. The fact that and not only did he go to an open, he went to a loaded open and he played with Logan Chamberlain, who's not Mark Richards or Tony Smith. He's in that tier below that. I think I got to say yes. He may not be number 7 this year or number 8, but like, I don't think there's a reason why Almanza can't get back into top 30 conversation.
Anthony.
Okay, if we're talking top 30, I can buy that. But just looking at it, he threw lights out this weekend. I'm going to give him that. And I'm glad to see this guy succeed. Got to spend some time with him in Miami at one of the shootouts. Really got to know him. He's a legit dude. But he struggled at Bag Mania in Vegas. Took 25th in his bracket. If we go back to open number 1, I think he was like 9th. So history-wise, it's just not there consistently. But if you talk top 30, I could buy that. But getting back into top 10, I don't see that happening.
Jeremiah Ellis is now the leading favorite for Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, I think, the argument here is that Ryan Trader's got to be right there in that conversation. But for me, I'm buying it. Jeremiah Ellis, yes. There was a point when, and it's just something I can't even describe. It's just it. They have it. When I watch some players play, if they're in that, and they have it, they're in that zone, they will not lose. And there's only a limited number of people that I've ever seen. I mean, that list isn't more than 10 people long to where I watch him, I go, that's it right there, right? I would say Mark Richards has it. I would say Matt Guy has it. People can argue me all they want, but he's got it. Jamie Graham has it. Some other wild cards. Josh Holland has it, right? I've seen him do that at times. Jeremiah Ellis, when I watched him this weekend, he had it. The only problem is he ran into somebody else who had it, and that's Mark Richards, right? So he just looked automatic. I hadn't seen that from Trader yet. I think Ellis has passed in my mind Ryan Trader. I'm going to buy that Ellis is now the front runner. He's won open brackets in both singles and doubles. He's right there at the end. I got to buy it.
Anthony?
Ellis does have it. Technique-wise, he's a little bit unique. He kind of snaps his throw off. If you look at most of the top 10, 20 players, it's very fluid, very long, pendulum-like, but he kind of has this snap off. But he can hit every shot. I like when he hits some of the most amazing shots, and I think that's the it factor. It's like a layup for him. There's no extra celebration, no surprise. That tells me that this guy is hitting shots like this all the time. He's very respectful to other players. When they hit an amazing shot, he's like, okay, I recognize that one. Here you go. But I'm going to sell. Ryan Trader. Open 1 wins his bracket. Open 2 wins the whole thing. Open 3, he's 5th in his bracket. So in 3 opens, he's really been consistent. But Ellis is not far behind and right on his heels.
Jacob Trzynski and Tanner Halbert make the finals of a pro event this season.
Yeah, I'm going to buy this. They looked really good this weekend. They were pretty close to what you'd expect them to be. Now, Will they be top 5? I'm not sure. Being top 5 means I was consistent over a long period of time. If I just need them to make a final on one given day, it wouldn't surprise me if they win an entire pro event. On one given day, they're going to show up. They're going to be there. I'm going to easy buy this one.
Anthony?
Dude, if we did power rankings off of this weekend, Jacob Trzynski's a top 10 player. This dude killed it in doubles and singles and was at the top statistically in both categories. But we're talking about not winning a pro bracket. We're talking about a pro final, right?
Just making it to the finals, yeah.
Yep.
I got to sell. I can see them in a bracket final, but to make it to a overall final, I don't see that happening. Would love to see it, though, but I'm going to sell.
You would bet on a Ryan Trader, Damon Dennis, and Cheyenne Bubenheim sweep of juniors, seniors, and women's versus the field at any given event.
Buy? Trey, you're not going to buy this?
It's so hard because the hardest one is juniors because I'm betting against Jake Gore and Jack Gore and even
Sammy Soto.
Nellis, Sammy Soto. So it's really hard not to buy it. I'm going to actually sell it because of the U18 element, but sometimes I don't even watch some of the women's events just because I know when Cheyenne's going to win it. It's outrageous. I'll sell it because of the U18.
Okay.
But to be clear, that's what happened this weekend, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
It's happened twice already this year.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're on trajectory. Okay, we are going to talk about some pro team region predictions. So teams, the play for our open events is going to kick off on December 1st, which is the next open. It's going to be teams from the American South. And so want to hear your thoughts on predictions on how that's going to go. We'll start with you, Trey.
All right, so for the season, we'll start with that American South, just because they're going to be the ones playing in a couple games at Open number 5 in Richmond, Virginia. They're going head-to-head. So as I look at this, I was looking through the rosters of everything like that. So we're talking about coasters, sliders, frees, and cutters. For me, number 1 is the Florida Frees. I think talent for talent, top to bottom, they are the most stacked team. I love the lineup of what they put together. They're a little bit light on teams. They just added a bunch of elite level players from the state of Florida. They pull in a guy like Chris Fagan that we know can really contribute at a high level. I think this is a team that is going to be just dangerous. I think through and through, I have them finishing number 1. Here's my biggest shock, I think, out of everything that I do for all of these different predictions. Number 2, I am putting a bounce back year for the Georgia Sliders. Okay. I don't think Anthony and I were on the same page on how they value this team. I totally get it, but they made 2 key trades. They got 2 really good players. They got Ryan Wiedenfeld and they got Josh Holland, who I'm expecting to have a bounce back year and be better in singles, closer to his old self. If they can do that with the existing group that they have, plus some of the rookies that they brought in here, I really think this could be not only our top heavy team, but it could be one that shows some depth. So I am picking a shocker at the Georgia Sliders coming in at number 2. And number 3, I have the Carolina Coasters. They made the playoffs last year. I think they come up just short this year. I don't like some of the moves that they made. I don't like some of the trades they made ultimately. I think they're going to be fine at the top. I just want to see some more depth. And then 4, I have an improved Cutters team. Okay, I don't think this is going to be a last place team Cutters, but I still do think they're in a pretty tough region. I have the Cutters at number 4. Anthony.
Absolutely. All right, Anthony, how about you?
Agree on frees. Where we kind of fall apart is I pull the Cutters all the way into 2. So that's kind of where we differ. And then I have the Sliders last. So that's kind of where we fall apart, but we do agree on the frees as the dominant team in that region.
Yeah, I think that's easy to do. Our American North.
All right, American North. So this is our Woodchucks, Aviators, Ringers, Marauders division. For me, number 1, I got to go to the reigning champs, the Pennsylvania Ringers. They added some great talents. They lost a little bit, but for the most part, this team looks like they are revved up and ready to go. I mean, that core group, Devin Harbaugh, Justin Burton Jr. I mean, you look top to bottom, they still have a really, really solid team. They know how they're a team that is managed well. We know that because they're bringing back those same pieces. Ultimately, I got to expect the Ringers to be number 1. Number 2, I have the Aviators. This is not a shock here as well. Again, they go out and last season they made the playoffs. I had the same exact top 2 teams making the playoffs. I like the Aviators here. Some of the pieces they brought into it. I think they added some depth along the way. So in the end, like I like what Trey Birchfield, Noah Almanza, Abernathy, all of them are putting to the table on the Aviators. Number 3, I have the Woodchucks. I think they're going to fall a game short of the Aviators. I really wanted to put them in the playoffs. I tried to go off with my hot take that they were going to win the whole thing, and then I brought their grade down a little bit. I want them to make the playoffs, right? But at the same time, I just think there were some things in there that I would like to see a little bit of improvement on as far as depth goes and drafting goes. Yes, I still love they got Jeremiah Ellis. Humans is going to be great. Trzynski is going to be great. Scheibner is going to be great. But in the end, I just want a little bit more depth, and that leaves me with the Marauders. This just felt like a team that was fine. They lose Jay Rubin, which hurt really bad, and then drafting-wise, they were just okay. So ultimately, I have the Marauders at 4.
Anthony?
I have them at 4 as well. Woodchucks at 3. Where we differ is that 1-2 position. I think the Aviators definitely leveled up this season. It's super close. The Aviators, Ringers. I'm actually giving Aviators the nod here and putting them in the 1 position.
All right. Next up is the National Central.
National Central. So this is going to be Bully Baggers, Colonels, Mays, Spinners. Number 1, I have the Missouri Mays. I've talked about this. I think they are absolutely loaded. The only thing I didn't like that they did this entire drafting period and bringing back players period was give away Gavin Cano. I know he may have demanded a trade to the Aviators or whatever it may be. Ultimately, I just didn't like doing that. But for the most part, this is still a loaded squad when you look at top to bottom. And I think it's a really, really impressive team. Number 2, I have the Texas Bully Baggers. I think I could argue that the Texas Bully Baggers squad could be number 1 in a number of different regions. I think because the Missouri Mays have such a really solid team, with maybe the exception of the Florida Freeze, I think the Bully Baggers could lead any of the other 2 divisions with how good that they are. So I really like the Bully Baggers. Yes, they have a highly Texas flavor, but even with Ernest Cisneros being on the team now, they added him to the lineup. We just talked about how good he was. Yeah. He wasn't even someone I was accounting for. Right. I think the Bully Baggers are going to be really good. Number 3 is the Colonels. I like some of the pieces, but for me, the Colonels and Spinners, I think are going to finish with a similar record. I have Colonels 3, Spinners 4. I think they're going to be lower tier teams. I don't love the rosters. I don't love them top to bottom. I am picking Colonels, just a little bit of an advantage there with some more experience. I think they could have drafted a little better with the Spinners, but overall, I got Colonels and Spinners finishing 3 and 4.
Anthony?
We have the same 3-4, but we're swapped. I think the Colonels are going to be in the bottom here, and then we have the same 1-2 swapped. I like the Texas Bully Baggers as the number 1 team out of that central region, stacked with talent. Statistically, they're looking good. I think they're going to be tough across the whole league, period, not just that region.
Last up, the National West.
All right, National West. I wanted so bad. I tried to rack my brain. How do I keep the Burn at number 1? And I can't do it. I think the Cali Slingers have a loaded lineup. And you know what? That's going to be music to Michelle's ears because I just think they're really, really good. They trade and they get Philip Lopez for essentially nothing. Yeah. They have some top players. They draft really well. They end up with, Kyle Malone. It's like, what is going on here? I mean, they have a loaded top half, and they're loaded even if you don't have Corey Gilbert play really well, even if Nick Williams isn't that good this year as he was last year. They're still loaded in the top half. They have some high upside in the middle part of the rounds, especially if Logan Hall can come in there and be a high contributor. This team is going to be dangerous. Number 2 is the Arizona Burn, going to be a really high PPR team. They made it all the way to the finals last year. I think they're going to have great team chemistry. I don't think they're going to be that far off to where they were. I just think some teams are going to get a little bit better. That's going to make it difficult for them to go on that same run. I have them right there, though. I think it'll be close. Slingers 1, Burn 2. I had the Timber at 3. I made it clear that I didn't love the trade away of Josh Holland. They did pick up Caden Allen. They did pick up Ryan Trader. That is really, really 2 good rookies. Depth-wise, they're just okay. I think there were some questionable picks in the second half. I have the Timber 3. And then, I don't necessarily think the High Rollers had a poor team. This feels like a very flat division top to bottom. It wouldn't surprise me if any one of these teams can go on a little bit of run. I definitely don't think the high rollers are going to be towards the bottom of the league. I think they'll just be in a similar position to where they were last year. They may miss the playoffs at, close to a 500 record, but I do have them at 4.
Anthony?
Yeah, I like your comment on just a level teams in that region. If I look at the national versus the American, I think the national is way stronger than the American. Both teams, or both regions, the Central and the West, are super strong. Trey, we agree on the 3-4 slot. It's the 1-2 where we differ. I just can't overlook the fact that statistically, the Burn are just killing it in every category. They pulled all of their new players out of the open division. I do like the fact that the Slingers pulled all their players out of the Pro Qualifier too. I agree. It's really tight, Burn versus Slingers, but Burn just a little bit better than me, in my opinion. I have them at number 1.
Awesome. Well, we will have to see how it all unfolds. Next up, Trey's favorite game. Name that player. Trey, take it away.
All right, I got 2 traditional ones. I got a little fun one at the end here. Okay,
Uh-oh.
So name that player. Okay. All right. So putting this in perspective a little bit here. This first player has the same number of titles as Cody Henderson, Jordan Power, and Damon Dennis. I'm not giving you the number, but I'm just comparing them right now. Same number of titles as that group. Okay?
Okay.
This player appeared on television 4 times last year.
Oh.
All right. Any guesses or keep going?
Caleb Batson.
No. This person has 4 open doubles titles.
Caleb Batson.
Eddie Grindersleeve? Go the other way?
It is not Eddie Grindersleeve.
4
And then the
open
one that
doubles
may
titles.
make things a little bit obvious, this player has won 2 open doubles events this season with 2 different partners. He's won 2 total, 1 with each partner.
Oh, Gavin Cano.
Nope.
Wait.
What?
2? Wait,
I
2
knew this
open-
one was going to shock because nobody's thinking about this person.
Logan Chamberlain?
I just told you, Logan Chamberlain.
Yeah.
Logan Chamberlain has as many titles as Cody Henderson, Damon Dennis, and Jordan Power. He
Let's
was
go,
on
Logan.
TV 4 times last year.
Huh.
Okay? He's got 4 open doubles titles. He won one with 2 different partners. He won with Justin Burton Jr., and he's won one with Noah Almanza. People got to put some respect on Logan Chamberlain's name.
Oh, already respect, dude. We said, I think it was middle of last year. This guy's not a B player. He's on an AA player team. This dude is solid.
Isn't that crazy, though?
That is crazy.
Like, of all the names that we just thought through, not for once did we think about
That is crazy.
Logan Chamberlain. Huh. All right. Next one. This person has 4 titles in round limited format.
Okay.
Ooh.
This person only has 1 open title.
Ryan Smith.
Oh, good guess, though. This person has never won a singles title that wasn't round limited.
Ryan Smith.
He's on a pattern here.
And this person is playing with a brand new pro partner this year.
Oh, a brand new pro partner. How many was it? 4 double? What'd you say the first one was?
This person has 4 titles in round limited formats.
Round limited.
With
New
a
partner.
New player. New partner or new player?
This person has 7 total titles.
Yeah, this should be easy. Did you say
that's good for 11th all time, by the way, in titles?
Okay. This player with a rookie or just a new partner?
A new partner.
A
new partner. Okay. You said they've never won a open? Is that what you said?
They only have 1 open title, and it was in doubles.
Okay.
Tanner Halbert.
No, he didn't.
This person. You want to take another guess, Michelle?
No, go ahead.
This person made the Final 4 of the Open this weekend.
Adam Hisner?
Adam Hisner.
Adam Hisner. I was going to say Windsor has too many. Yeah.
Isn't that crazy though? Again, never won a singles event that was round limited. Never won an open. Never won a national.
Yep, fits all the boxes.
Never won a world championship, but he's made the world championship Final Four like 3 times.
Yes.
It's just crazy. He's been so close and hasn't gotten there. So, all right, last thing. I think this is going to be fun. We've mentioned this a few times, and I actually went through the exercise, and I couldn't believe it. Okay, because the list is kind of funny. Name me the 6 players who have 3 or more open singles titles.
All right. Alex Hicks.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
Mark
Alex
Richards.
Hicks. There is 1.
Mark Richards.
Matt Guy.
There's Mark Richards. That is 2. Matt Guy. That is 3.
One more.
No, there's 6. There's
Jamie
3 more.
Graham.
Oh. Go
Not
ahead.
Jamie Graham.
Trey Birchfield.
Not Trey Birchfield.
Ooh.
Who's won a bunch of opens?
Open singles.
You got the
Open
3 ones that I thought you would get.
Open singles, you said, right?
Open singles
Open
events.
singles.
Oh,
Okay.
There's 6 players who have won 3 or more.
Damon Dennis?
Nope.
That's not a bad guess either. Is it too soon for? Nah, Fisher didn't win 3 in
No.
his rookie year.
Not Fisher.
This might be. Yeah, it's not Fisher. Damn. Well, I think we got to go with some old school players.
I'll give you a hint. One of them has won an open this season.
Who won?
Trader,
Yeah, Trader, and then
Richards.
who's the other one?
It is so on brand that we can't get this person's name. It is so on
Oh, Alan
brand.
Rawls. Alan Rawls.
Alan Rawls.
Yeah.
Alan Rawls has won 3 open
Dude.
singles titles.
Always sleeping on this guy.
Poor Alan. We love
What is
you,
our
Alan.
problem?
He's like screaming.
let's
Come
throw
on.
I know. He's like, me.
Let's throw his
All right.
brother in there.
His
Yeah,
brother was the other
Yeah.
is one of the others. Alex Rawls has won 3, and the last one, this one's tough because he wasn't good at all last year.
No Wooten.
Nope.
He wasn't good at all last year. Noah Almanza.
No, but similar.
Let's have fun with how many players weren't good last year. Eric Anderson.
This turned into
Jackson
a whole
Gore.
other game. Eric Davis.
Number 6 is Josh Holland.
Oh, okay.
So I
Interesting.
thought that one was fun. I thought that was a really interesting list of like a good group. Like the 3 are obvious, and then the 3 are not, which is fun.
That's funny. We forgot Alan Rawls.
Sorry, Alan.
I know it's just so on brand. It's
Sorry,
so on
Alan.
brand.
Damn.
All right, we got hot takes. What you got, Trey?
Hot takes. I had my hot take ready. Anthony, go first. I gotta find it. I wrote it
All right,
down.
I'm going to kind of parlay it off of Mark Richards. The next open that he's in with Tony, he's going to win singles and doubles sweep. So hopefully it's the next one, 3 in a row for Richards in singles. And then he's going to get that dub with Tony Smith in doubles for a sweep.
Which I'm assuming hasn't been done, right? A 3 in a row open.
No, 3 in a row has never been done.
Okay, what's yours, Trey? Did you find it?
Yeah. I look, I kind of riding the theme here. I think yet again for another season, Logan Chamberlain finishes top 15 in singles. I think the guy is
So good.
He's just so good, and I think we sleep on him a lot. I think he's a really, really impressive player. So
What
I'm
about
that.
Chamberlain finishing higher than JBJ?
Woo.
Woo!
Buy or sell. That's next week's buy or
No,
sell.
I can't do that yet. I can't do that yet.
I'm going with Ryan Windsor. I think he's been real steady, so I think Ryan Windsor is going to win a national this year. I
Oh, a
think that
national.
he's got
Thank
it in
you for
him.
going hot, Meesh. Thank you
Yeah.
for finally going hot.
I'm going hot. All right, guys, that's all we got time for. Everyone have an amazing Thanksgiving, and we'll see you all next time.